LethelGnu really thought interactive too. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is not an incomplete film. You feel me? Now, me personally, I liked Across the Spider-Verse. I didn't really mind how it ended because I'm looking forward to the third part. You feel me? Or the third Spider-Verse. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking forward to it. Um, but people I know didn't like the ending. But let's see what Natsu has to say. I haven't seen one of his vids in a minute.
Single Spider-Man in here. Does that include?
Yes.
But I also found out that for this movie, there's like 3 different films. It's like scenes are like flipped or something like that. I don't know.
I'm a certified Spider-Verse meat writer. I've sung the movie praises multiple times on this channel, and
I watched the first one again. The first one's so bro.
it was a monumental leap
I
for
watched
the
them both
superhero
again.
genre and medium of animation. Spider-Verse was a breath of fresh air in an industry which had stagnated over the years.
Do y'all think Across Spider-Verse or Into the Spider-Verse is one of the best animated films of all
And
time?
it remains influential to
I
this
think
day.
that
So saying the sequel
they up
had
there.
big shoes to fill would be an
These shoes-
understatement. I try not to go into things with any
these
kind of
crazy good
expectations,
movies.
but I'd be lying to you if I said that I didn't have any with Across the Spider-Verse. And somehow it still managed to blow every one of those expectations out of the water. Every frame is breathtaking, the characters are phenomenal, and the music,
They be cooking with the music, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
look, I know we're only halfway through.
But the self-love song by Quill Ray, that song is hard.
23, but I'm calling it right now. This
The
is
name
the
of it?
movie of the year, and it's not just me. Everyone seems to love this sequel. Hey, actually, I don't really like.
No,
Everyone seems to love this sequel. But if there's one complaint that I keep hearing about the movie, it's that it's incomplete. It ends on a cliffhanger and doesn't give the audience any meaningful payoff to everything that's been built up throughout the course of its 140-minute runtime. Back in 2021, screenwriters Lord and Miller revealed that the story they wanted to tell for Across the Spider-Verse was too much for one movie. So it was split up into this film and the upcoming Beyond the Spider-Verse. It wasn't meant to be a trilogy. The second and third entries are just 2 halves of what was originally one film, so how can either one be considered complete? While I do agree that even in a trilogy, each movie should feel like a full package, I think the way that they handled splitting this sequel gave it more than enough for it to stand on its own 2 feet. The ending left me wanting more, but I didn't feel blueballed by it, which I think is the best kind of cliffhanger.
I
The narrative
didn't
threads
get.
laid out from
I wasn't blue-balled either, to be
the
honest.
start of the movie were wrapped up by the end, and all the questions I had were answered. Now you might say that the conflict with the main villain was never resolved, but the Spot isn't the main villain of Across the Spider-Verse. From the opening moment with Miles, the primary conflict of the film is established. He's been New York's one and only Spider-Man for the past year, but he's still a long way from having everything figured out. He's stuck between 2 worlds, the first of which he doesn't have anyone he can talk to about, and the other one where he's never on the same page with those closest to him. While doing his superhero thing, we see that he's also running late to a meeting with his parents and a guidance counselor to talk about his future. Not what he wants to do with his future, but what's best for him, or at least what those in positions of leadership perceive to be best for him.
Right.
In this meeting, Miles' internal conflict is laid bare. He has his own goals and desires, but everyone tries to push him on a predetermined path without any concern for what he wants to do. Despite their best intentions, they only push Miles further away. He tries talking to his mom as Miles Morales, but still can't bridge the gap between them. He has a candid heart-to-heart with his dad as Spider-Man, but with the mask between them, how personal can the conversation really be? When Miles
Right.
expresses that he wants to tell his parents about his
Look,
side
well, this
hustle as a
quality's
masked
butt.
vigilante, Gwen says that it's better not to. Not every Spider-Man has all this. He can be both Miles and Spider-Man. She doesn't consider his situation and is
Oh, there you
clearly
go.
lamenting the fact that she can't go back to her life as Gwen Stacy after what happened in her universe. Gwen deals with a similar conflict to Miles throughout the film. Her identity as normal teenager Gwen Stacy and superhero Spider-Woman are at odds with each other.
Bro, I love how much screen time she got in this movie, bro.
Both are part of who she is, but only one is accepted by her father. She sees him as a good cop, but not so much as the best dad. And when he rejects that other part of her, she decides to leave the Gwen Stacy identity behind and solely be Spider-Woman. A decision that she wishes she had never been forced to make. She wishes she could go back and prescribes the same thing to Miles' situation. She also tries to keep him from the rest of the Spider Society. Another decision that was made for Miles with no input from him. Everything comes to a head when Black Spider-Man meets Black Air Force Spider-Man, aka
The demon.
primary antagonist of the film, aka Miguel O'Hara. Miguel is everything the movie had been building up to. He values function over form and created the Spider Society to uphold what he believes is right. Miles is someone who goes against the grain. Miguel perceives him as an anomaly, a glitch in the system, something that shouldn't be. Miles stands against everything he built, making Miguel the perfect foil to the protagonist. He may be cold and utilitarian, but like everyone else trying to put Miles on a predetermined path, he's still well-intentioned. He's not an evil, irredeemable villain, but a physical representation of what Miles had been struggling with throughout the film. After the climactic 1v1000 spider battle, Miles concludes his character arc by delivering the coldest line in the movie.
Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go.
Talk to him, Miles.
Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
If this isn't the climax of the movie, then I don't know what is. Shit, I was in that movie theater climaxing myself. If the first film was about Miles becoming Spider-Man, then this movie is about him finding his footing as both Miles Morales and Spider-Man.
Okay.
Him deciding to write his own story instead of following the established canon that everyone expects him to. Something that nicely ties back to one of the major themes of the first movie, expectations. His very inception as Spider-Man was something that happened against all odds. And now he plans to save his dad and the universe against all odds. Breaking the canon is basically his MO. He even does the big superhero no-no. Miles breaks the barrier between his two identities and reveals to his mom that he is in fact black. Gwen's conflict is resolved with her reconciling with her dad and finding out that she doesn't just have to accept what's canon. She can carve her own path, and she leaves to go help Miles do just that. These are complete character arcs. I've also heard some complaints that the movie spends too much time in the first act on the teen drama, but that's exactly what's at the heart of this story. The struggles these characters face are front and center, and everything else is used as a vehicle to explore that. And this is especially true for the Spot. The Spot doesn't really function as a villain in this movie, but more so as a catalyst to drive the narrative forward, and he plays that role perfectly. It's thanks to him that Miles is even Spider-Man in the first place. He's why Gwen came to Miles' universe, why they both went to Mumbattan, why a canon event was broken there, why Miles got this intervention, and why Miles is on his way to make a canon-breaking hat trick. He does all of this while taking a backseat throughout most of the movie. He really isn't given that much screen time. If the movie were to be 20 minutes longer and we saw Miles reach his home universe and beat the Spot, I don't think the movie would have been any better for it. It wouldn't feel earned because that's not what was being built up throughout the movie. We already got two extremely cathartic scenes with our main leads, and anything after that was extra. The Spot was grinding side quests off screen trying to make himself live up to the self-proclaimed title of Spider-Man's nemesis, and that's something for the next movie to explore. The same goes for Miles' evil twin. He was a character who was mentioned a few times, but only really introduced in the last few minutes. The way I see the ending is not loose ends that weren't tied up, but crumbs being dropped at the end of a complete film to keep us hungry for the next one. And let me tell you, bro, I'm starving. And if the main complaint with the movie is wanting more of that movie, then that's a damn good movie. That's it for this video. See y'all in the next one.
Right, so basically what he was saying was that this part of the film's purpose wasn't to beat the big bad. You know what I'm saying? It was not to beat Spot. It was to basically just build the two main characters character. You know what I'm saying? With Miles and Gwen. It's great how animation caught up to the first movie's level after 5 years. As we saw with The Last Wish. I don't know what that is. Miguel was tweaking when he tried to stop Miles. Like, my man was straight up bumbling on all fours while trying to shut out a teleport just to get Miles. Like, the movie did a perfect job of making it as possible. Like, bro really tried to stop Miles from saving his dad, bro. Like, bro, like, imagine someone trying to tell you that, like, your dad need to die for, like, bro, what? Like, bro, the thing about Miguel is that he isn't being the scene I'm in the first act was actually my favorite part of the film. Mine too. Seeing intimate parts of Miles, Gwen's showcase a lot of their character, which I find that some comic book adaptations are lacking a bit nowadays. Facts. But yeah, this next movie though, that movie gonna be crazy. It's supposed to come out, I think, of next March, but it's probably gonna be pushed back. I seen something on Twitter, that that for this film, some animators quit for some, I forgot the reason, but so then everyone else had to like pick up the slack, and like they like worked like 12 hours days for like weeks straight. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. So if the film does get pushed back, that's probably why. You know what I'm saying? Because people do be overworking sometimes, and they definitely do want these films to be as perfect as possible. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here. Yo, I just gotta follow. Shout out you, Toby Gaming YT. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even streaming, but yeah, I'm out of here.
Then she gon' pull out the tape and tie me up, then lock me away. That bitch, she said that she hate me. I am not faced. My niggas waiting at your place. For all this shit escalate, I need to know how many niggas you've played. How did you take off your tape? She looking right at me and she swerves into the lake.